All right, let's begin this deep dive. For years, the HBO Harry Potter series was, mostly whispers, just this abstract promise.
Mm-hmm. Very hush-hush.
Exactly, a secretive, high-level corporate thing.
Yeah.
But recently, that veil hasn't just been lifted, it feels like it's been violently pulled back.
Yeah, it really does.
In just a few weeks, we've seen this relentless flow of leaks, security breaches, actual location reports, confirmed casting. It feels like the operation went from careful planning to, well, frankly, full-blown operational chaos.
What we're seeing, I think, is this unprecedented collision. You've got huge creative ambition on one side,
Right. Remaking Harry Potter.
and then these really harsh logistical realities on the other. This is a mega production, huge fan expectations, maybe the biggest ever.
Definitely up there.
And it's simultaneously battling these intense, distracting, sometimes hostile real-world pressures. It's not just making a show anymore.
Yeah.
It's this ongoing high-stakes logistical battle. And it's costing, well, untold millions before a single episode even airs.
That's exactly why we wanted to dive into this today. We've pulled together a whole stack of recent sources, insider reports, security briefings, those detailed set leaks, even actor commentary.
Trying to piece it all together?
Yeah, figure out what's really happening behind the scenes. We've got info on everything, massive set rebuilds, this strict legal mandate driving them, specific UK location filming.
And the security investigation, the actual fire incident.
Right. And the first official words from the new Lucius Malfoy, it's a lot.
So our mission today is basically to filter this flood of information. What does all this chaos really tell us about the huge operational challenges facing this series? It's projected for 2027, right?
You'll a little ways off, yeah.
We need to look past the spoilers, maybe, and understand the cost, the financial cost, the creative cost, the logistical strain of trying to make the most anticipated fantasy series when everyone's watching online, and there's, well, external opposition.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We should start where the magic physically begins, right? The massive effort to rebuild, well, the world's most famous magical shopping district.
Diagon Alley.
Let's talk about the look and feel of the new Diagon Alley.
Yeah, Diagon Alley is absolutely foundational. It's the visual identity cornerstone for the wizarding world in many ways.
It's the first big magical place you see.
Exactly. It's the first major set piece, and it has this huge job. It needs to feel familiar, but also tell you straight away, this is something new, something different. And those recent leaks gave fans their first real peek at the HBO version.
And the key thing from the sources isn't just that they rebuilt it, it's the why. This isn't just a touch-up or a simple recreation, is it?
No, not at all.
The reports say the entire street was rebuilt over the summer. Massive scale on a studio lot, tucked away behind the leaky cauldron entrance. But it's the mandate that's driving this incredible cost.
That's the crucial point, the legal and creative complication. HBO is reportedly not allowed to just copy the original Warner Brothers movie designs.
So they can't just, use the old blueprints.
Apparently not. There's this need to separate the visual intellectual property, the IP of this new streaming series, from the film franchise. It sounds like it's not just a creative choice. It's a financial and legal necessity.
Wow.
And that forces them to rebuild everything. Every single architectural detail, from scratch. A completely new layout, new buildings, and that means totally new, custom-designed lighting, practical effects setups, everything.
It sounds like they're spending tens of millions not just to make something new, but almost to prove it's legally distinct from the version everyone already loves. That's intense.
It is, and it explains why the leaks show something that, you instantly recognize as Diagon Alley, but it's structurally different, divergent.
Yeah, you can see that redesign mandate in the details from the set report.
Absolutely. Like, the sources note the street now has 2 layers.
2 layers, vertically.
Exactly. Suggesting a much larger vertical scale than we saw before makes the alley feel potentially even more cramped, dynamic, maybe denser. It speaks to this huge ambition to literally build up, adding depth where the films were mostly horizontal.
That's a big change. And it affects the main spots too, right? Gringotts?
Mm-hmm. We know the main bank, Gringotts, looks different. That's a major visual gamble, isn't it, given how iconic the original movie Gringotts was.
Huge gamble.
And even the more fun shops, the whimsical ones, they've been significantly changed or moved. The joke shop key for the Weasleys later on, apparently it's moved and, quote, does not look anything like the original.
Oof. Oh.
Even Ollivander's, the wand shop, is only described as slightly different, which just confirms nothing was left untouched in this redesign.
But, okay, here's where they try to win back some points with the hardcore fans, maybe.
Exactly. This is where the creative team seems to be trying to earn back goodwill by digging into the deep lore. Set photos confirm shops like Madame Primernell's beautifying potions.
Which, I admit, I didn't immediately recognize.
Most casual fans wouldn't. But the real hardcore readers, especially anyone who followed the old supplementary stuff like the 1998 Daily Prophet newsletters they put out,
Oh yeah, I remember those.
they'll recognize it instantly. Including that detail signals something important. The series might be prioritizing the text, the books, over the established film look. That's a powerful creative statement.
And they're adding totally new stuff too. There was a new shop name floating around.
Yeah, Gisandos. Reports point to this completely new shop, Gisandos, located right above Primernell's.
Gisandos? What is it?
It looks like a music shop. The logo apparently has musical notes, and people spotted instruments in the window display. Introducing new lore is always a bit risky, but it also, expands the world.
Huh, a music shop. That's interesting, especially when you think about who they just cast.
Right, the sources immediately made that connection. The actor playing the new Lucius Malfoy, Johnny Flynn.
Who's a very well-known musician.
Exactly. A really talented musician and singer-songwriter. So, is the shop an intentional little Easter egg for Flynn being in the cast? Or just a happy coincidence? Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But it highlights the tiny details, the granular level of design they're pouring into this to justify the visual overhaul. Diagon Alley is alive again, yeah, but it's designed to be massive, distinct, and every difference seems driven by this huge financial and legal weight.
Okay, so that's the studio lot. But the ambition doesn't stop there, does it? They have to take the crews outside the safety of the studio bubble.
Right, and it's exactly what they did this past fall.
They were spotted filming one of the earliest, most visually chaotic moments from Philosopher's Stone.
Mm-hmm. The Dursleys running away from that endless flood of Hogwarts letters, such a key visual.
Where to film that?
The chosen location was Skipton, up in North Yorkshire. Reports confirm multiple streets, Westmoreland Street, Sackville Street, were completely shut down for complex night filming.
Night filming adds complexity.
Oh yeah, between October 18th and 23rd. And the sheer logistics involved. People saw huge night lighting setups, crane-mounted cameras, complex rigs. It indicates this sequence is going to be pretty spectacular in scale.
And Skipton itself, it's sort of an unassuming industrial town. What location from the books is it supposed to be standing in for?
The belief is it's standing in for Cokeworth.
Ah, Cokeworth. Snape and Lily's hometown.
Exactly. That dreary industrial town, central to their backstory. But specifically for this scene, it relates to that equally dreary Railview Hotel. Remember where the Dursleys desperately fled to escape the letters?
Right, the depressing seaside hotel.
Yeah. So choosing Skipton, which has that necessary kind of miserable, mundane aesthetic, it reinforces the oppressive atmosphere of their hiding place right before Hagrid bursts in.
And the logistics you mentioned, the cranes and stuff, what does that tell us about how they shot it?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. Sources noted scaffolds built high up on the rooftops around the streets they were using.
Ah, so filming from above.
That detail seems crucial, yeah. It strongly suggests they were filming from above, likely to capture that famous image of the swarming owls or the acceptance letter just pouring through windows. It's a spectacle that absolutely needs overhead shots and massive control over the whole environment.
Makes sense. It's such an iconic image from the book.
And there's a subtle connection here, too, geographically. This region. It links the new series back to the original film's visual language, in a way.
How so?
Malum Cove. Remember the striking landscape where Harry and Hermione camped in Deathly Hallows Part 1?
Oh, yeah, with the limestone pavement, beautiful shots.
That's only a few miles away from Skipton.
Yeah.
So by shooting in the same general area, HBO might be subtly trying to visually anchor their new series in that established landscape tone, even while they're redesigning specific sets like Diagon Alley.
Interesting. A nod to the past while building something new.
But this ambition, this need to go out and shoot on location like this, it dramatically increases the production's vulnerability, operationally.
Yeah, that ambition definitely comes at a cost. A terrifying cost, it seems. And that leads us right into the next big section. The production nightmare. This is where we pivot, isn't it? From creative problems like redesigning sets to, well, almost existential ones for the production itself. The logistics, the security breaches, the external pressures. It's the making of the show a story in itself.
You're absolutely right. The production's operational security seems to be its single biggest logistical headache right now.
It started with the set breach, right?
Yeah, multiple outlets reported that core incident, fans, or maybe activists, somehow got into the supposedly secure Diagon Alley set at Leaves Studios.
Yeah.
And they didn't just snap a quick photo.
No, they posted photos, videos online. The level of detail released was pretty significant.
Right, damaging.
So what was the internal reaction to that? How serious was the fallout?
Immense, according to insiders. The reports say the incident triggered a massive investigation within the studios.
Massive investigation. Like, what does that entail?
We're talking not just studio security, but apparently external private security consultants, maybe even involving law enforcement, trying to trace the leaks back to whoever got in. Sources suggest it was a huge undertaking, diverting resources, time, attention away from actually filming.
Okay, so that's the leaks from fans or whoever. But the security issue is compounded, isn't it? There's another layer here involving activists.
Yes, and this is where it gets more complex and, frankly, more concerning for the production. This security issue is happening alongside and possibly fueled by online discussions among some trans rights activists.
Driven by opposition to J.K. Rowling.
Right, opposition to the author. And these aren't just general complaints. Sources detail active, specific online discussions about explicit plans to disrupt filming.
Disrupt filming, how?
Trying to interfere with shoots in various UK locations, particularly the more exposed ones like Cornwall or Yorkshire, where Skipton is. These sound like discussions about actively trying to interfere with large-scale commercial filming activity.
And it escalated beyond just disruption threats, didn't it? There was that specific comment.
Yes. The situation moved dramatically beyond simple trespassing or leaks. Sources cited this really alarming online comment made during discussions about those North Yorkshire shoots, the Skipton filming we just talked about.
What did it say?
Someone, apparently joking, but in a way that obviously caused alarm, posted something like, "Skipton, ah yes, notorious for gas leaks, so I've heard." And then another user reportedly replied, "This is the most drastic solution I've seen so far, but I'm intrigued."
Wow. Okay, even as a joke, that crosses a line. That shifts the threat from inconvenience and spoilers to potential physical risk. Criminal intent, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that kind of rhetoric, even if intended darkly humorous by the poster, it shifts the entire security dynamic for the production. Executives have to treat that as part of an active threat matrix.
So how did they react? What changed on the ground?
As a direct result of the set breach and this escalation online, security is undergoing a complete and very costly overhaul.
What does that involve? More guards.
More than just guards. We're hearing about advanced surveillance technique, infrared cameras, better perimeter alarms, really strict onset restrictions, limiting crew communication, maybe trying to stop internal leaks too.
Yeah.
And significantly, using off-duty police presence in some sensitive filming areas.
Off-duty police. That sounds expensive.
Extremely. The cost of this security ramp-up alone must be staggering. You're reallocating huge budget resources, money that could have gone into, dragons or spell.
Into paying for security consultants and extra police patrols.
Exactly. And
Yes.
what are the sources calling this whole situation?
They're unanimous, aren't they? Calling it a costly nightmare.
Yep, a costly nightmare. And the constant threat of leaks or disruption worries insiders deeply because, remember, this isn't a few months of shooting.
No, it's multi-year. Through 2027.
Right. Every year that passes just increases the vulnerability to interruptions, to stunts, to major reveals being ruined way ahead of time. Sources suggest the cost increase just from security could hit the high tens of millions over the whole production run.
So what does this all mean for us, the viewers?
Well, it means the price tag on this show isn't just about actor salaries and building huge sets. It's also paying for off-duty cops, private investigators, advanced surveillance systems. And that inherently puts massive pressure on the creative team to deliver something that justifies this astronomical operational cost. It's a huge weight.
It really sounds like an unprecedented logistical high-wire act. And just when you think the human and political issues are enough, sheer bad luck seems to join the party.
Yeah, things literally went up in smoke.
Right after the crew finished filming at a location.
That's the strange, sad story of the Cleve Inn in Leslie, Devon, a very cozy, picturesque countryside pub.
And they'd just finished filming there.
Yeah, it had been temporarily closed for production activities, and then just days after the crew wrapped and left, it was severely damaged by fire.
How bad was the fire?
Pretty significant. Required 8 fire engines to respond. The building suffered major damage.
Do they know what caused it? Was it related to the filming?
The Devon and Somerset Fire and Rescue Service said it started in the storeroom. The cause is still officially uncertain. There's absolutely no known link between the production and the fire. It could easily just be terrible, accidental timing. But the timing is incredibly poor for the production's narrative.
Yeah. Talk about bad optics. And there was some local irony, too, wasn't there? Something about potholes.
Sure.
Yeah.
The production context offers a tiny bit of color there. Filming at the pub was reportedly done under the code name Brown Cat,
Brown cat. Okay.
and the local irony is just inescapable. Locals had apparently been celebrating the crew's visit because, classic local government stuff. They joked that the production's presence and the logistics needed had finally resulted in some local potholes getting fixed, stuff they'd complained about for ages.
Oh, no. So wizardry intervention fixes the potholes.
And then days later, the pub itself is ablaze. It almost sounds like they need that wizardry intervention more for their security budget and fire prevention now. Even accidental disasters like this just compound the pressure. Potential insurance claims, maybe schedule delays if they needed reshoots, finding a new location.
Yeah.
It all adds up.
Okay, so that's the chaos. Let's shift gears, thankfully, to something more positive. The casting news.
Yes.
Amidst the security breakdowns and the fire drama, we got official word from one of the biggest new actors joining the franchise.
Johnny Flynn, playing Lucius Malfoy.
Right. Known for Emma, Lovesick, very versatile actor. What did he say about taking on the role?
He sounds genuinely thrilled, almost overwhelmed by it. He spoke publicly at the BFI London Film Festival and admitted he's, quote, giddy as a fan of the stories of the books, really.
A fan himself. That helps.
Definitely. He emphasized this deep personal connection, saying the books meant so much to him as a teenager, and now his own kids feel the same way. That personal investment feels pretty critical, doesn't it, when you're recasting such a well-known, maybe controversial character?
Absolutely. Did he give any hints about the production timeline?
He did provide some essential details, yeah. Helps us map things out. Flynn confirmed principal photography started way back in July.
July. Okay, so they've been shooting for a while.
Mm-hmm. And he said he's already shot a few scenes, though he made sure to note it's still very early days for his character's storyline.
And he's coming in with some serious acting chops, working with legends recently.
That's another key thing.
Mm-hmm.
When he was talking about his other projects, he mentioned working alongside people like Bill Nighy and Alda Stanton, calling them heroes.
Wow.
It reinforces this idea that HBO is really prioritizing serious, highly respected performers for these central adult roles, trying to lend the series immediate dramatic weight, maybe to counterbalance all the external chaos we've been talking about.
And the big question, the Malfoy handover. Did he talk about Jason Isaacs?
Yeah, the moment everyone was waiting for. Flynn was asked about Isaacs, who obviously originated the role so iconically.
What did he say?
Flynn mentioned he actually hasn't spoken directly to Isaacs since getting the part, but interestingly, they worked together on a film before and apparently have a great relationship. Flynn called him a sweetheart.
Huh, that's nice. But did Isaac say anything publicly?
Oh, yeah. Isaacs provided that immediate, very public stamp of approval the fandom was probably craving.
On Twitter, right? Or X.
Yeah, on X, formerly Twitter, months ago, actually. He publicly endorsed Flynn, writing, "A fantastic actor, a lovely man, and irritatingly a rather brilliant musician, too."
Huh, that's great.
And he finished with this playful warning, saying he couldn't have handed the snake-top baton onto anyone better. Just please don't make him sing.
Perfect. That kind of endorsement is vital, isn't it? It signals the original cast is supportive, not competing, gives the whole project a sense of continuity.
Yeah. Exactly. Good faith. Which this project desperately needs right now. Flynn's joining that core cast we know about: Dominic McLaughlin as Harry, Arabella Stanton as Hermione, Alistair Stout as Ron, and Locke Pratt playing Draco. So we're going to see this whole new dynamic between the trio and the Malfoys.
And that positive vibe, that external support, it really does serve as a needed counterpoint to all the production difficulties. We saw something similar from the Weasleys too, didn't we?
Yeah, a really heartwarming gesture of support and continuity from the original Weasley family actors.
Amidst all the security stress and expensive redesigns, fans got this dose of just pure, unscripted nostalgia.
Totally. Bonnie Wright, who played Ginny, along with James and Oliver Phelps, the original Fred and George.
The twins.
They reunited for what they just called a family dinner in Baltimore. Oliver posted the picture on Instagram.
Family dinner in Baltimore. Simple as that.
Yep. And the fan reaction was immediate, huge celebration of that connection. It really speaks volumes, doesn't it? That the bonds between the original cast are still so strong. It allows them to be these sort of cultural stewards for the whole franchise.
And they really have stayed involved, haven't they? Conventions and that baking show.
Yeah, they're integral to the franchise's ongoing life, appearing together at major conventions and collaborating on projects like that Food Network show, Harry Potter, Wizards of Baking. They are the living embodiment of the nostalgia that this new series is trying to tap into.
While also, it seems, guiding the next generation.
Exactly, because HBO recently confirmed the new Weasley family members.
Mm.
We've got Gracie Cochran playing Ginny, Tristan and Gabriel Harland as Fred and George, and Rory Spooner as Percy.
Right. So what advice did the original Ginny have for the new Ginny?
Bonnie Wright was asked specifically what advice she'd give Gracie Cochran. And her guidance was really clear and I think profound for this project. Prioritize the books over the films.
Go back to the source material.
Precisely. She stressed that every new actor should draw their interpretation directly from the book, the original source material, not just try to copy what was done in the previous films. Her exact words were something like, she hoped they would really go from the book and they take their interpretation of the characters from the book as the original source of material.
That feels like more than just advice. That sounds almost like a production directive, doesn't it?
It really does. It confirms or strongly suggests that this new series intends to be a deeper dive into the books. Maybe using details the films had to gloss over, it frees the new actors from just mimicking their predecessors and anchors them in the primary text.
Which is what a lot of book fans always wanted.
And Wright added a really lovely personal note, too, about the experience itself. She said, be present in the moment, enjoy every minute of it.
Which, given everything we've just discussed, the pressure, the security chaos, the leaks,
that reminder to just cherish the creative opportunity, to enjoy the moment. That might be the most valuable guidance of all right now for that new cast.
Absolutely. So, okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. We've seen Diagon Alley completely rebuilt, driven by this expensive legal need for redesign.
The high-stakes location filming in Skipton, standing in for Cokeworth, for those crucial early scenes from Philosopher's Stone.
The massive security overhauls triggered by explicit online threats and actual physical set breaches. A situation insiders are calling a nightmare.
The bizarre, unfortunate cleave-in fire, just adding another layer of misfortune.
And then, thankfully, the positive side, the casting of Johnny Flynn as Lucius, and the really essential, heartfelt approval coming from original cast members like Jason Isaacs and Bonnie Wright, cheering on the new generation.
When you step back, the sheer ambition needed just to redesign and recreate these iconic sets, which is a massive cost in itself, one that's coupled with these intense ongoing security issues and the external political pressure. It makes the production of this series an extraordinary drama playing out right alongside the fictional one.
It's a story within a story.
Exactly. The executives are fighting this multi-front war, legal, creative, logistical, political. And they have to sustain it for a multi-year shoot, right through 2027. This project is constantly battling its own visibility, its own hype, and the cost is just escalating daily.
It truly is a high-stakes, high-cost game they're playing, and it forces us, in you listening, to think about the underlying creative challenge here. We've seen the extraordinary effort, the incredible amount of money HBO is spending just to justify this remake and protect the set.
Forcing them into design changes, digging into deep-cut lore, things they might not have done otherwise.
So, given those incredibly high stakes, the constant disruption, what balance do you think the creators have to strike? How do they honor the visual nostalgia of the original films, which, let's face it, is what most audiences expect, while also justifying these new details they're almost forced to implement legally or operationally?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is this necessary redesign actually a creative benefit in disguise? Does it push them to explore the source material more deeply, giving fans that richer adaptation they crave?
Or is the security nightmare, the constant pressure, already impacting the final product? Are they being forced to choose the path of least resistance, the least exposed option, the most legally distinct choice, maybe even when it's not the best creative choice?
The question for the next 3 years, really, is whether all this chaos, this pressure, will ultimately forge a better, stronger final product, or just complicate one into oblivion. It's going to be fascinating and probably stressful to watch unfold.